Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Just build it like the plans say. I think you understand what can come out of this. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Architect says, just build it like the plans say. So he does. My good friend works in the construction industry installing windows and doors in commercial buildings. His first day on this particular site, he was about to install a window, and the person that installs the fire suppression system asked him not to put that one in. Turns out the fire suppression guy was about to run his pipe through that window opening. Somewhere in the drawings, the architect made a mistake and labeled all his dimensions for the sprinkler system incorrectly, and it was sitting 6 feet below where it was supposed to be. When the sprinkler system guy called said architect, the architect said, just build it like the plans say. Supposedly, multiple people heard the conversation. The dude did just as he was instructed and put the sprinkler system in about 3 feet off the floor. Apparently, the general contractor on the build begged him not to pressurize the system because it costs stupid amount of money to replace this after it happens. I'm not in the industry, but it sort of makes sense. Architect had a walkthrough 2 days later with the sprinkler guy and went apoplectic on him, asking why he did that. Sprinkler guy showed him the plans and reminded the architect of his instructions to build it like the plans show. Supposedly took about $80,000 to fix the house. And our second story. All he had to do was send me to a class and let me get my license. In the mid-'80s, I responded to an ad for a company selling affordable retirement benefits for people that didn't have jobs that offered a 401k or any other kind of retirement savings. It was a good concept, and I'd been exposed to it before, so I thought it would be a good job that would let me go to school and make some money since I could essentially set my own hours and appointments. The job turned out to be selling insurance-based annuities, which are essentially insurance-backed savings accounts that mature at a set time and will pay out a monthly stipend when you retire. I was still in because I understood the concept and still thought it was a good thing to do for people. That was before I really dug into the company and who ran it. I worked for a guy named Michael, obviously changed. He was a slimy manager who was in for himself, and if he had to screw you over, that didn't cause him to lose any sleep. Michael also liked to cheat on pretty much everything, this comes into play later, and then brag about what he'd done. Since I was a new salesperson, I didn't have a license to sell insurance products yet, but part of the process was to eventually send every new person to a quick class and then on to the test to become licensed. The class they would send people to was a quick how to pass the test without actually knowing anything type of class that amazingly worked. As long as you could sit in a chair, write your name, and hold a pencil, you could pretty much be guaranteed to pass and receive your license, which doesn't make me very confident about the insurance industry in my state. Until we were sent to the class and passed the test, we had to take one of the licensed agents with us to our appointments. The licensed agent would be the official name on the contract. Once the deal went through, the licensed agent would receive the commission and was supposed to then split it with us on the deals that we brought to the table. I went on multiple calls with an older gentleman from the city closest to us and closed several deals. While the commission wasn't going to be big, it was still money that I was owed. After the agent got paid, he quit showing up to our small office and wouldn't respond to any calls or requests for my part of the deal. After speaking at length with Michael, he told me that it was essentially my problem and I had to deal with it. He wasn't going to do anything about it. Basically, it was too bad you got screwed. That was strike one. The second strike was when it came time for me to go to the class and get my license. I was rescheduled, and then rescheduled again. There was always a reason that I couldn't go, and then an inquiry as to why I wasn't scheduling any appointments to write contracts. I let them know that I'd start producing again when I felt that I'd actually be paid for my work, so all of my appointments were pretty much on hold. My manager then assured me I was on the rotation for the next class in 1 week, so would I please start getting appointments lined up for the week after that. Being new in the business world, I thought he was actually going to come through with his end of the bargain, so I put some very nice small companies on the board, which, if I closed even half of them, would have resulted in some great business. Unfortunately, when it came time to take the class, my spot was again given to someone else, and I was told that there's nothing I can do about it. Maybe next time, by Michael. That was the final straw, so I told him I quit. He wanted to know who I wanted to handle my appointments, so I told him not to worry, I'd take care of it. I went in and erased all of them off the whiteboard and walked out. Remember the liking to screw people over then bragging about it from earlier? Here's the revenge part. Michael, during a conversation with the new guys where he wanted to show us what a study was, bragged that he'd figured out how to jam his electric meter so that it wouldn't count the electricity being used. Apparently, the seal on his was broken enough that he could unclip it, jam the meter, and replace the seal so it looked like the meter hadn't been tampered with. He knew that his meter would be read on the 2nd or 3rd of the month, so he'd unjam the meter and let it run for a couple days, then open it back up and jam it again so he'd get free electricity for the rest of the month. He then set his AC to as low as it would go and run it 24/7. This was in a very hot southern state in the summer, so his meter probably looked like a CD player with the disc spinning at what was very probably a world record rate. With this little trick, he'd usually have what would be considered a very normal electric bill after 2 to 3 days of running it. If you extrapolate that to 30 days, you'd have an oh my god electric bill. After I left, there were several other guys he'd done the same thing to, so they left shortly after I did. Since we were mostly business majors at the college, we saw each other quite frequently. A week or so after the exodus, we were all sitting around talking and the subject of his electric trick came up, so we hatched the revenge. Since it was after the meter reader came around, we took a little road trip to his house when we knew he'd be at the office and unjammed the meter and let it run. You could literally watch the dials turn, so we knew he was going to be in for a surprise. To add to the mystery, we came back at the end of the month and re-jammed the meter so he'd have no idea what was about to happen. Since we still knew some people that had stayed on the job, we did get to hear about the fallout. He got his next electric bill and it was pretty close to $900. This was the mid-'80s, so that was huge. He freaked out and called the electric company to complain about the incredible jump in his bill, so they immediately sent someone out to check the meter. Since he wasn't anticipating this, he wasn't able to go back to the house and fix the meter, so they found out he'd been jamming the meter. Not only did he have to pay that bill, they refigured his previous several months and made him pay for that too. He was out thousands of dollars. And our last story. Competitor IT company steals our articles. I owned an IT company, we'll call it UberTech, that strictly manages business networks, no website development, graphics, etc. One of my employees was tackling an interesting support request with instructions for making changes to a company's website. This happens from time to time where a customer gets confused with their various tech vendors or assumes that we provide all tech-related services. He called the person to get more context, and being in earshot, I could tell that my employee's call was quickly escalating with a frustrated person on the other end, and he already offered to pass the call off to his manager. Me. UberTech, how can I help you? PO'd website owner, web owner. I want to know what's going on here. I don't know who you are, I don't know why you're calling me, and I don't know why you have my support information. Me. Sir, to be honest, I don't know who you are, why we're calling you, and why we have your support information either. But together, I think we can figure this out. I understand that you have a website and made a request for some changes. Who hosts your website? Web owner. Derp Company. On their support website, there are instructions to send support requests. I followed them, and now I have you calling me with my support information. Me. Sir, I definitely want to get down to the bottom of this. We don't even offer website services. If you'd please work with me, I'm sure we can get an answer. What I want to do is have you share your screen with me and then show me what you did to request support. I had him run our remote control software. He then proceeded to navigate to Derpco's support website, support.derpco.com, navigated through the customer self-service pages to a knowledge base article, KB, on how to submit a support. He pulled up this specific KB article, and I was staring at a verbatim copy of an article that I had written on our own support site. There were no changes to the article, including the step to email your support request to, and it was my company's email address right there. Me. Thank you for taking the time to show me this. I think I found the problem. Notice the email address in the instructions. It's telling you to email ubertech.com. That's us. Now, please allow me to show you something. I then scrolled down to the bottom of Derpco's plagiarized support article and noted the creation date, 2007. I then navigated to our company's support website, support.ubertech.com, and navigated to our own matching article. We both confirmed that it was the same article, and I showed him the creation date of our article, 2005. Web owner. Oh, look at that. Me. I think it's safe to say that Derpco has stolen our content, did not even update the instructions, misleading you to send a support request to us. Web owner. I'm sure you have a few things to take care of with Derpco. I would appreciate it if you'd not mention us when you call them. Me. Of course, sir. Thank you for your time with this. I immediately searched Derpco's support website looking for more of our stolen content, found a total of 5 articles, and promptly printed them out and saved copies as PDF. So, what to do in this situation? Do I call the owner of Derpco? This is a small town, so I needed to be clever and not taint my own image. How do I get revenge? Hire a lawyer? Leave the articles as is and hope more support requests come to us that can bring us business? Revenge unleashed. Nope. I wrote a press release. News release, release date for immediate release. Title, UberTech endorsed by local competitor. I got some great kudos from a local business. One client in particular was rolling. 2 days later, I get an email from the owner of Derpco. I would appreciate it if you would remove the press release from your website. This is a small town and it's just not good business. I went to their support site and still found 3 articles from our company. I wrote back and told him that I'd be happy to do so, but there are at least still 3 articles on their support site that need to be removed. 2 days later, I got another email confirming that the articles were removed. Epilogue. In the end, I took down our press release, but still have a copy kept in our office and would tell this story to our new employees. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.